He did it. He did it.
저희 지금 나가볼게요.
저희 그러면 이제 어떻게 하고 있어요?
지금 문 잠고 기다리고 계세요. 문 열어주지 말고. 네, 기다리고.
일단 신고자분 최대한 저 남자분이랑 만나지 마시고 이런 상황 또 발생하면 바로 신고 주세요. 저희가 바로 출동하겠습니다.
아, 네, 알겠습니다.
네.
Hi, what's up guys? It's Rachel. So a couple weeks ago, I posted something on my Instagram story in the middle of a night, which probably concerned a lot of you. For those of you who didn't get to see it, this was the first one of the many others that I posted that day. It's almost 3:30 a.m. I called the police an hour ago because a psycho kicked my door with his full force and yelled. I live with my sister, but we're just two girls. Now I'm even scared of the thought of stepping out the door. This is kind of dramatic, but well, it was around 3:30 a.m. when everyone is supposed to be in deep sleep, but I couldn't sleep at all that night. And on that night, I received a lot of supportive messages from you, so thank you. I really appreciated it. There were many of you who sent me comforting messages saying it was probably an isolated incident. Maybe it was a drunk person just making a stupid mistake. But the truth was, I knew who he was. That creep is actually my neighbor. Today I'm gonna tell you guys about the psychopath that lives in the apartment above me. So here's what happened. My sister and I have been living in this apartment for about 3 years now. And throughout the whole time we've been living here, well, except for the past 3 months, we've never experienced this horrible tragedy called noise between floors. But unfortunately, a psychopath moved in the apartment above us like 3 months ago, and the story begins from there. Well, the fact that he lives right above me actually makes the whole situation really a lot worse because he knows my address, duh, and he knows my face, he knows my car. It's scary. He already kicked my door. Who knows what that psycho is gonna do next, honestly. Actually, I mentioned about him very briefly in this video, why I hate being a woman in Korea. When you have to complain, if you need to say something to your neighbor, as a girl, it takes like some gut to knock on their door. Somebody moved into upstairs at my apartment, and just yesterday they were making like super loud noises, and oh my god, like some machine was going on. The noise was unreal. Like it was so loud. And then we knew that person is a grown-up man. I told my sister, hey, I will go upstairs and I'll say something, but if I don't come back in the next 3 minutes, then call the cops. I needed to brace myself for that. It's like a simple request, and you might laugh because it's not really relatable to you maybe, but when you're a girl, even standing up for yourself to your neighbors can be difficult. Yeah, him and his laundry machine. I don't think there was a laundry machine, by the way. I don't know, it was probably like a weird machine a psycho uses. And honestly, do you know how much courage it takes for me to go upstairs and confront him? I'm a wuss, so a lot. And when I asked my sister to call the police if I don't make it back in 3 minutes, I wasn't joking. And I did. I asked him really nicely. I was really polite, but it didn't work. Things got only worse from there. From that point, it was downhill. Phew. For the past 3 months, he would have people over at night and have parties until 4 a.m. in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning. And it's not like a quiet party. It's a freaking loud party. They would blast their music on. They would dance, probably because all the constant pounding on the ground. And what are they doing up there? Like, they would drop heavy things on the ground and it's so loud. All the laughing sounds, all the music, it drives people crazy. It's not just 1 day, 2 day, multiple party nights. I don't even know what he does for a living. What's his job? What kind of person have so many parties at his place? And it's even COVID situation. You're not supposed to have people over. You're not supposed to have parties. What the? Not only that, when he doesn't have people over, he would play his guitar and sing a song with it. Crazy. Is he good at least? No. He's terrible. And he would do that until 3 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. It drives people crazy. What kind of a lunatic plays a guitar at 3 a.m. in the morning? You tell me. I don't really know much about him, but at least I know for a fact that he's a lunatic. He's insane. Seriously, what is going on up there? What are you doing? Like, what? Why are you pounding on the ground so much? What are you dropping every night? What are you dragging on the ground? Why are you dropping so many heavy things on the ground? Like, he's a psycho. And it's not like we didn't try. It's been painful. And of course, we tried to understand first. Like, us trying to understand, that was our first step. But we couldn't really live like that forever. So we went upstairs nicely, politely. That didn't work. We left a note, politely asking him to keep it down. That didn't work either. We knocked on the wall. Well, we realized this not too long ago, but when we knock on our bedroom wall, the noise gets to upstairs because the wall is thin. The noise gets spread through the wall. It's like sending a message, and it kind of worked at first. He would stop playing his guitar when we would knock on the wall for like a couple of minutes, and then he would start playing his guitar and sing along with it all over again. So actually, it didn't work either. And finally, something happened on one cold January night. I had like 5 hours of sleep the day before, so I was pretty tired that day. So I went to bed around 11 p.m. because I had a live show next day in the morning. I needed that sleep. But 11 p.m.-ish, it was loud. I was like, yeah, it's gonna die down soon, hopefully. Midnight, it's the same. Like, what's going on up there? So around midnight, I can't sleep. 1 a.m., I can't sleep. Same thing is going on. 1:30, that's it. Like, we would knock on the door, knock, knock, knock. And it started from there. As soon as we knock on the wall, knock, 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 we hear him opening his door open, like wide open, and then thumping down the stairs, like angry steps. And he'd start pounding our door, like bam, bam, bam. And he'd yell at us like, 저기요, open the door. And at that moment, my sister and I get legit scared. Like, we are scared. My sister is smaller than me, and I'm not good at physical fighting, so we get really scared. But I started to act like I'm tough, so I was the one who stepped up, and of course I started filming right away because evidence. So here's the footage.
네, 말씀하세요.
혹시 문 두드리셨어요? 두드렸어요? 안 두드렸어요? 안 두드렸어요?
아니, 지금 1시 반이거든요?
Well, so that happened, and we really didn't know how he's gonna react after. But like right after, we got legit scared and we couldn't really say anything back to him. We were whispering in the house, in our own house, because we were scared of him. Because we didn't really know he would come back or what. So we had to call the police because that was over the line. It's not acceptable. It's 1:30 a.m. in the morning. It's almost 2. And honestly, I think it's messed up. And here's why. If I were a big guy, I know for a fact that he'd never even imagined of the idea of kicking my door because he'd better know that I would kick the shit out of him. He totally would have kept it down and not even make a trouble when I asked him months ago. But he knows I'm weaker than him and he knows that there are only 2 girls here. You know what he is? He's a bully. This is frustrating. Wish I were a man. Then I know that he wouldn't even be able to say a word back to me. Do you think he can be this rude? Kicking my door? How dare he could even do that if he knew that I'm this like dude. I'm this like big guy. It's messed up and I think it's really unfair. Yeah, he's being a total bully. We already know he's not normal. He's not like a normal, reasonable citizen. He kicked our door. We gotta call the police. Like, this is now really serious.
아, 신고자가 시끄럽다고 이야기했다니요?
일부러 그러는 것
잘 안
같고요.
들려요. 밑집 남자가 신고자 현관문을 부쉈다고요? 발로 찼다고요?
네, 발로 꽉 차가지고.
그 남자가.
네.
알겠습니다. 저희 한번 지금 나가볼게요.
저희 그러면 이제 어떻게 하고 있어요?
지금 문 잠고 기다리고 계세요. 문 열어주지 말고. 네, 기다리고 계세요.
네.
And a police officer came and I was standing right next to the door. I couldn't go anywhere because I was trying to listen to their conversation, but I couldn't really listen everything, but here's the footage. And we got the call from the police again.
그냥 바로 신고 주세요.
근데 신고하면은 어떻게 되는 거예요?
저희가 뭐 가서 말씀드리거나 뭐 하는.
근데 저 아저씨가 저희 와서 발로 차고 그러는데 남자들도 계속 데리고 오고 그러는데
신고 주세요. 네. 일단 저희가 주의를 줬고요.
뭐래요?
조용히 하겠다고 하는데
뻥이에요. 저희가 막 되게 쪽지도 쓰고 막 만나서 부탁도 드리고 그랬어요.
일단 신고자분 최대한 저 남자분이랑 만나지 마시고 시비될 수 있으니까 이런 상황 또 발생하면 바로 신고 주세요. 저희가 바로 출동하겠습니다.
아, 네, 알겠습니다.
네.
So now we don't really have a lot of options. We were advised to not directly contact him from now on because it could lead to a dangerous situation. Our only option is to call the police when he's loud or when he is bothering us. And what's frustrating to me is that I know that the police cannot really do something definite in that situation. All they can do, it's always just gonna be a couple of words. Sir, keep it down please, and that's gonna be it. And now my sister and I are worried that calling the police over and over again is not gonna solve the situation, but it's only gonna make the situation worse because the problem is he knows who's calling the police. So he's only gonna think that we are bothering him. I think it's only gonna piss off that psychopath. Yeah, that's the problem. Obviously, he knows who called the police. That's the issue. So I'm scared that he'll do something for revenge because he already knows too many things about us. And honestly, this is so stressful. You might find it hard to relate because I don't know, maybe where you're from, maybe you live in a house, you know, not an apartment, and you didn't really get the noise between floors. But here, about 60% of Korean population live in an apartment because our land is small, but there are too many people, especially in Seoul. And if you live in an apartment, there are people above you and below you. And sometimes you come across a psycho, just like in my case. My story is very real. It's an ongoing thing. It's not over. I just scheduled the CCTV installation actually because I'm scared. I'm smiling when I am filming this video, but in reality, like actually I'm legit scared. Well, he doesn't know that I do YouTube, not to mention that I would make a video about him. And if he watches this video, he would get mad because I said his voice is creepy, which it is. His voice is very creepy, so he might decide to kill me. But hey, psychopath, just know that there'll be cameras. Alright? So I'm getting cameras out the door, and for the cars, I'm trying to feel better about it. And it's the only thing we can do for now anyways. So yeah, that is my story for now. I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe I'll have an update video in the future, but for now, like, that is what happened. Thank you for all your concerns. I'll probably be okay, and I will call the police if something happens right away. And there'll be cameras, so I'll probably be safe. Yeah. But before I go, huge thank you to my Patreons. Thank you so much. These are my top tier Patreons. They are cool, hot, and sparkly. I wanted to say thank you so much for supporting my channel and my life and my safety. It's helping me a lot. And if you also want to support the channel, and if you want to get the Patreon exclusive content, you know, sometimes there are some stuff that you feel uncomfortable sharing on the public, and I think this is my safe place that I can do this. I don't know when I will be ever this open on the public eye, but this is my Patreon place. And also, I feel like if I answer to these questions on my YouTube channel, I don't think people will like it. And if you want to join the Discord chat room and talk to me, become the member of the Patreon community. Patreon.com/RachelKit. And don't forget to follow my socials. All the links will be down below, and I'll see you next week. Peace out, love you, and goodbye.